Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Esther here once again. I hope this video finds you in a good mood, okay? Because I'm bringing you greater news. This is actually a continuation of my last video. If you watched the message I sent out there for parents who are working full-time, I made two parts of that video, and I believe there is more to that topic than I've already done. So it's my pleasure to come before you once again with this continuation. Guys, you see, we as parents, we have this responsibility that we know is put upon us. We have this responsibility. The children we brought forth, we have to make sure that we bring them forward. That's the next generation. And so, what actually, if you think of what actually do we need to instill in these children that will carry forth the work we've been doing, that will keep us proud, that will enhance our lives and their own lives when we are no longer able to work the way we are working now. Why I'm saying that is because we are working now to make sure that happens. But I want to point out to you that it is not all about work. It is also how you work. It is also the kind of work you choose to do. Yes, up until now, we have been trained, we have been brought up knowing some things that we now know better. And so things must change. For example, we knew that when you grow up, go to school, get good grades, get a good, get to higher level, get the best grades and go to university and, get a good job and make a family and, save up for retirement. And nobody tells you how to enjoy life in between. Nobody actually tells you what is in between. You don't even know that for you to change direction along your working life is a powerful thing to do. Because as you go along life and you begin to know better than you were taught, you begin to notice how much power you have to change some things. So I'll go back now to how we bring up our kids and what we do in the process. I want to point out to you that it's not only about going to work, leaving your children for so long time. Let me speak about myself in this instance. As a nurse, I work daytime, I work nighttime, okay? Put yourself in that position. A lot of you out there, also in different careers. Sometimes by the time you go to work, you leave your kids still in bed. By the time you come back from work, they might still be in bed. They've come back from school, they've taken care of themselves, and they've gone back to bed. And maybe you still need to go back to work tomorrow. You do not spend time with these children. You don't, a week, maybe 5 to 7 days long, you are not aware of what happened in your child's life. You see how delicate that is. You cannot give an account. You didn't give this child the opportunity. You didn't have time to really sit down and talk. And so it gets dangerous for yourself, for your child. And one thing we have to know, if you don't instill anything in your life, in your child's life, if you do not teach your child what you want them to know by yourself, society has a bigger influence on that child. Others will do the best they can do on that child. So I am hammering on this point of us not having quality time with these children because we work. It is time for us to change these things, okay? It is truly time for us to change it. Work is not equal work. There are different kinds of work. You can work in an environment whereby you have control of your time and what you do. You have control of your location and where you go. You have control of how you schedule even the time of work. So parents, I still urge you, this is a wake-up call. We wouldn't work, even if we have to work until retirement. To be honest, we will slow down at some point and these kids will take over. By the time they take over, they must have left home. And when they left home, what relationship did you build with them before they left home? Do you really know them? Did you really impart something in their life that they will come back and say, thanks, Mom, thanks, Dad, this is rewarding. This is actually what you brought into me, and now I'm giving back to you. So it's an important issue. We really need to take care of this. And you might be asking me now, what should I do? I will tell you, you will start from where you are passionate about. If you are still, if you are still comfortable in your work and your schedule, I am not advising that you quit your job. God forbid. I am not standing here telling you to quit your job. Because even if you need to learn further, if it's another degree you want to get into your hands, if it's another online learning you want to do, anything you want to do further, surely you are going to invest money. And maybe this particular job you are doing right now is what's going to sponsor you. It's what's going to give you the opportunity to invest in the new thing you are going to learn. So I wouldn't urge you right now to leave your job. That is not the purpose of this statement. What I'm saying is that you can actually have an opportunity to turn your passions into a business. I might just be explaining what you already know in different words, because truly, we all have something we enjoy doing. And somebody else might want that, and they give us money for having that. It could be physical products, it could be electronic products, or let me say online products. It could be information products. It could be anything. It could be you standing in the gap and bringing people to buy some other person's product, and you get a commission from that. Nowadays, the internet is a big marketplace. You all bear me witness that a lot of us buy things online. Even during the lockdown, online marketing functions throughout, and that is going to take over everything else, because before you know it, very soon you won't find all those physical shops. All those things will be happening online, because the rents are going to be reduced, utility bills are going to be reduced through all of that, and all the commuting to and from, bringing products here and there, those things are going to be reduced. So there are a lot of skills you can learn out there to make sure that you have this freedom of time. Freedom of time. When you have enough time in your hands, you can be able to explore. You can explore other opportunities. You can do other things that will bring you income, multiple streams of income, without you leaving even your home. Your kids can go to school and come back and meet you home. They can come back from wherever they go. They find a home tidy. You are in a very good state of mind. You receive them. You sit down and discuss. This is the contrary of you working for somebody. This is the contrary of you working out of your home. A lot of times, some jobs drain your energy. You come back home, you don't even have time to even look at your spouse. You just want to get a cool head. Because by the time you come back home, where you have been is still in your vibration. You are still vibrating along what you did throughout your working day. So by the time you settle down and even your mind runs down to peacefulness, time has gone. Your spouse may not even, they have realized that they can't even talk to you. Your kids have realized that, oh, Mom is tired. She can't even talk to us. All of that tarnishes the relationship in the family. All of that. I've talked to people who complain that if they don't work, what else will they be doing? If they don't work, the bills have to pay. They don't want to live on social welfare. For those of us who are opportunity to be out here in the Western world, there is social welfare. But how much do you get from that? So let me tell you, trying to think outside the box and do things other than the ordinary is going to bring you places. All you need to do is have a change of mindset. That is the biggest thing I am learning in this academy where I am. A change of mindset. I am in a community of people where nobody claims to be born with a golden spoon in their mouth. Nobody claims to be born from parents who dropped down inheritance millions and all of that. A lot of them were dropped out from schools. A lot of them didn't have their mom and dad in the same house. A lot of them struggled by themselves. They just knew that, no, I can't go through life like this. I need to do something for myself. And at the same time, they began to know that it's possible, there's something out there for me. Life opened up for them. And they are the ones mentoring us today, telling us it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter your educational background. It doesn't matter your marital status. It doesn't matter if you have children or not. It doesn't just matter. All that matters is you and a change of mindset. Believing that everything you set your mind to do, you can be and do and have. It is just possible. So I'm not standing here teaching you what online marketing is. I am just giving you directions of how to think differently and better yourselves. Let's get back to how we put ourselves on the line, we as parents. How we put ourselves on the line to raise our children. And we try to, meet up with what society demands of us, meet up with what others would think of us. Are we failing? Are we doing well? All those do not matter. Let me tell you another thing. As parents, you have done well. Nobody is a bad parent. Nobody is a good parent. Every parent has done their best so far to raise their children up until this moment. But I want to tell you one thing. Your own life, you can only teach from your own example. You cannot teach from somebody else's example. And whatever you've been doing is what your kids will reproduce. You can teach kids whatever you want to teach them, but the easiest way is for them to copy exactly what you are doing. Am I correct? I might not be correct, but I am telling you that kids, especially these ones of nowadays, they are very, very sharp in copying. So let me break this discussion for this moment and at this point and tell you that I came across a documentary and it touched me. That is what I want to share with you at this point. Okay. Someone richly and beautifully aligned 5 regrets, but I'll just go on to talking about maybe 2 or 3 in this video. So I don't want any long video at this point in time. But the first regret this man pointed out, it was that I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others expect of me. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expect of me. This statement goes right down to the roots where we grew up and how we were brought up. We can't blame anybody. That's one thing in my channel, on this platform. I do not blame anybody, but I will tell you, the same day you wake up, the same day you begin to get aware of these things, you have your power back. You are able to change things for yourself. Right now, you still have the time. And I will mention, if you are above 40 listening to me at this point, you still have so much chances to change a lot of things in your life. You have to get yourself ready for your own new life. Because there's surely a dream. There is surely a way of life that you want to live. And let me tell you, all that is keeping you uncomfortable where you are in every area of your life is where that change needs to start from. So pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to what you are doing, because if you are not in good state of mind, you are no good to anyone. You are not good to anyone. If you are not happy, forget it. You can't give anybody happiness. That is just a little example to tell you that whatever you do, you reproduce it to yourself. Whatever you become, you reproduce it to yourself. Everything adds up. If you have studied or you've heard of the law of attraction, that is just what it is. As you begin to want those things that you want, if it is just happiness, know that when you start on that path of happiness, your happiness will increase. And when your happiness increases, you are taking your power back. You are not going to live a life that others expect of you. Because another thing is that that's a very dangerous place to be in, when you have to see yourself through the eyes of others. You know, you want to walk in that straight jacket to make sure everybody else is sorted. If you have not sorted yourself first, you can't sort anybody else. I'm saying this only to people who are ready, people who are spiritually enlightened. These are tough statements that with the ordinary mind you can't understand. But if you are spiritually awakened, you know, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. You have to be ready yourself before you can bring anybody along. It is a very dangerous place to be in. Why? Because you will regret someday and say, you wished you had the courage to live a life true to yourself. How can you want to live somebody else's life? How can you want to stand still to make sure somebody else? I'm not saying we shouldn't look after others, but what I'm saying is that you can only give what you have. When we go back to talking about learning new skills online, how do you teach even your children when you don't know something? That's another example. You can only teach what you know. So please, I urge you, let no one listening to me, let no one get to that place in their life where they will say, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others expect of me. It's a very bad place to be. I want to share another point of regret that some people actually have had. We are still having time. We are still, I don't use that word lucky, but we have the chance to experience something else. The next one is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Imagine how that statement sounds like. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. You know what? Worked so hard and regret at the end of your life looks like you were supposed to not do anything. But it's not so. It just means work and play were to be balanced. It just means everything was supposed to have its place. Your spouse had to have their place in their life. Your children had to have their place in your life. And even your work, the work you were doing, had to have its place in your life. That's just the meaning of that. If somebody mentioned that they have worked so hard, it means the work at the end of the day was futile. Maybe they were only focused on paying the bills. Maybe they were only focused on, I don't know, maybe building skyscrapers, or maybe they were busy. I don't know how they used their working life, whatever their goal was. But if anyone gets to that point in their life when they say, I wish I never worked so hard, it means the work was futile at the end of the day. Maybe the spouse left them. Maybe the children grew up without him or her knowing them. Maybe all the things that they thought, maybe they depended on even the kids when they were old, and it didn't turn out that way, that the kids were there. Why? Because maybe during their working lives, there was no space for them in the children's lives. And that's a big regret to take to the grave. My dear listeners, it's time for us to wake up and start living. To wake up and start living. Because in this channel, I promise you, I'm just going to be sharing those golden keys that will help us begin to think outside the box, reinvent ourselves, and start to live better lives. And start to make wise investments. Start to make wise investments, because I read somewhere in my doctor's office, it said that the best time to start a new life was yesterday, but you still have today, so why not? Guys, it's almost 20 minutes. Thank you very much for listening. If you've not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that, because you also are part of this discussion. I would also like to hear from you in the comments below what you think. What topics do you want me to discuss? And I will do my research and I will go within. I always go within. Get inspired and come before the camera. Okay? So if you have anything for us to address, your opinion or your concerns may be for so many others. Why not bring them up and let's talk about them? Okay? There's also a link, a free link below this video that will lead you to have a free account with SFM. Why not? Just give your name and your email address and begin to receive all what this mentorship is about. If you want to continue, why not go ahead and see yourself on a different journey, renew your mindset, begin to see possibilities in this life, begin to just have a change of scene. Guys, that's it from me this day. I just wish you a very lovely day. And I promise to continue with this discussion in my next video. So that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.